Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we're going to discuss the 2024 Sony Marvel sequel final film, Venom: The Last Dance. So this is rated PG-13. I feel like if it was rated R, it would be had more of a punch to it. It was still good. It was entertaining. Some parts were disjointed, and I'm glad that there was an actual dance number in a film referencing The Last Dance. But again, how would this work? How would Venom be dancing in a film? Right? How does this work? So we have a lot of the Eddie Brock, Tom Hardy character, and Venom dynamic throughout. First film, second film, and now in the third film, they have a very good symbiosis because he's a symbiote. So they have a good symbiote human relationship, and it's hard saying goodbye. But of course, there's always, can something happen after? Did Venom actually sacrifice himself to save everyone? Things, right? Could they be the Punisher? What they call him? Protector, lethal protector, something like that. So this Eddie Brock character, we knew, left New York at one point. Was in San Francisco, and then the quest then is to get back to New York because of things, right? So he gets blipped after Thanos slaps. He gets sent into a different universe, and then comes back to his own universe, and then he's then hunted down. And it's a matter of, there's a Area 58 under Area 51, which has been studying the symbiotic aliens and, things, right? Things. So it's a quest of then getting to Area 58. But the entire first half of the film, Eddie just cannot keep shoes on his feet. And it's a running gag. And the film could have easily been called Eddie and Venom's Quest for Eddie's Shoes or something like that. It would have been funny. There was a lot of comedy to this, which I didn't expect, but some parts were a little wonky, like certain conversations he had along the way, certain conversations Eddie had along the way, which is a little wonky. Definitely needed some fine tuning. I did like that Mrs. Chow, is that her name? Was in Vegas, and that's where the whole dancing scene came into effect. I thought that was neat. She's technically been in the most, I guess, because she was also in the Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse film, multiverse film. Oh, no, technically, because Eddie was in an Avengers film for half a second after the blip. All right, so they both played an equal amount of parts. I like the random family that he stumbles across and driving to Area 51, and they have a sing-along. Ground control to Major Tom. What was the point of that sing-along? But it was funny because there was a sing-along and there was a dance number in this third and final Venom film. So random, very disjointed, entertaining, none to say the least. I did laugh. I did get some choked up bits when you're thinking you're going to say your goodbye. But what happens next? Can, Eddie Brock survive without Venom? Can whatever potential piece of Venom grow back? Who knows? Possibilities are endless with these symbiotes. So we'll see what happens next. I liked the Venom, the symbiote, army coming together to defeat these creatures who are trying to get the Codex, which is embedded in Venom. That's the whole premise of this, to release their null creator. But there's a lot of mythos to this, which I thought was interesting because you bring in a lot more mythos of origin to the third film when you didn't really have it in the first and second. But nonetheless, entertaining. Venom, Last Dance, on to the next review. Mahalo.